लिंक आ चुका, आप लोग का हो जाए तो आप कहाँ वो हम ये अब हम आप बोले कि उसी तरह नहीं अभी जस्ट आया अब नहीं कितना वाला
Once again, many thanks to all the participants in the fourth session of in-house training. This session is going to be addressed by Mr. Hemant Kumar of ADSVM, Bhagalpur. The topic is importance of personal hygiene and nutrition. Once again, Bhagalpur Sahodaya is very thankful to all the participants in schools, Ramkrishna Vidya Mandir, Rannuchak, DAV Barari, JNV Nagarpara, Guru Kripa Academy Kalgaon, New Era Public School Munger, New Horizon School Bhagalpur, SBM Jamalpur, SBM Munger, Columbus English Academy Shahpur, and Himalayan Academy Kalgaon. Now, I would like to call Mr. Hemant Kumar to address this meeting and start his session, personal hygiene and nutrition. So over to Mr. Hemant Kumar. Please, Hemant Kumar, come on to the podium.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, all of you. I am Hemant Kumar and welcome to the session, training session, and the topic is importance of personal hygiene and nutrition. Answer. So the learning objective of this session is, by the end of this session, we will understand the health and its components, what are the characteristics of healthy person, key to good health, personal hygiene and its practices, various body parts which harbors different kind of pathogenic microbes, awareness toward menstrual hygiene, nutrition its need, also what is balanced diet, what are its component, role and sources of different nutrients and their deficiency diseases, and how to implement or what are the ways to implement hygiene and nutritional check, also awareness toward itself at school level. So starting with my topic, first of all, we need to know that every organism on this biosphere do not want to perform suboptimally, and they do not want to face flags and criticism from the colleagues. So every time we do anything or we perform, we want to perform it very optimally. However, such optimal performance can be done by an individual only if he or she is healthy. Or however, being healthy is not only good for oneself but also to the society, as we know that the personal hygiene and the community health is interrelated. Also, if one is healthy, community will be healthy and nature will contribute to the economy of the country. So as we can look in the picture, if an individual is healthy, he will feel confident, his performance will be optimum, and he will be maximally contributing to the country's economy, which will owe to the development of our country. So moving on to next, according to WHO, World Health Organization has defined health as a complete measure of complete well-being, that is physical, mental and social. If we are physically fit, we are mentally fit, as well as we are socially fit and adjustable in the society, then only we can consider ourselves or oneself as a healthy person. So what are the characters of mentally healthy person? Today, after pandemic situation, what we have, the world had addressed that many persons are going with a stress and they are not able to cope up with the stress because it was a very crucial time when the patient was practically isolated with the family and the well-wishers. So, if a person is slightly mentally unhealthy, you cannot observe all this character in them. And if a person is completely mentally healthy, then he or they will have control over their emotions. They will neither get angry, they won't be short tempered. Also, they won't be very playful and joyful at all every time. They will consider the grimness of the situation and they will act accordingly. They will have a balanced feeling toward the situation, toward the individual they are talking to, they are facing to. Also, they will accept the reality of the world, how we have to go through, what we have to face, what must be our step, what are our role and responsibility in the society. Well, those reality they can easily accept. They also feel confident all the time. They are lively and they are very good character of a mentally healthy person is they can cope up with the stress. As we know, we are human beings, social animal, and we face several types of situation which may result in stress. And if the stress gets upon you, it is very hard to cope up with it. However, if you are a mentally healthy person, you can easily cope up with the stress and you can come up with a solution, a very good solution. Also, they are very sensitive toward the society, toward colleagues, toward their family members, toward their self-respect. So these are the character of a mentally healthy person. Moving on to next, what are the character of a socially healthy person? The person who is socially adjustable and adored by everyone in the society. What are the characters of those persons? They have positive attitude towards. They always try to solve the problem. They always seek the solution to the problem. They do not avoid it. That is the very first character of a socially healthy person. They have a good interpersonal relation, obviously. If you have to get adjusted in the society, you have to have a very good interpersonal relation and a communication skill. They also fulfill their duties and responsibility well on time. They get well along with other. दूसरे से बात करने में उनको उनका तरीका अच्छा होता है. On the interpersonal relationship, always they have a good interpersonal relationship. They also have a pleasant personality. If you will talk to a person who is socially healthy, you will feel amazed. No, wow, he is always having positive attitude. He will always neglect all the negativities and always focus on the positivities and toward a solution-oriented person. It's a very good feeling if you will face any such a person which is a socially healthy. Also, if during any sort of communication or during any situation, if they come with some disregard or disagreement, they express very politely. That is the character of socially healthy person. Next, moving on to next, and the physical healthy person, it is a very common, we can consider it and we can easily address it that the person which is disease free, considered as physically healthy, and they also maintain a proper hygiene, balanced diet, and they remain physically active. As we know that according to WHO, per day, 90 minutes of physical activity is advised for a very healthy type of lifestyle. However, most of us, we do not maintain 90 minutes of physical activity. That is why we are going through a very hard phase and we are facing idiopathic diseases such as hypertension and diabetes and all. So we must maintain 90 minutes of physical activities per day. Now the question is to us is, how do we stay healthy and contribute to nation health or development? We know if we are healthy, then we will perform optimally, and if we will perform optimally, obviously the circulation of money will be more and country will get developed. So how do we contribute to nation's development by staying healthy? So there are only few points and a very simple one, that it is very simple. Just we have to maintain a very good hygiene, personal and community, a proper balanced diet we have to maintain, and then a good physical activity that we have already discussed, 90 minutes per day. Okay, then moving on to first topic, that how to do all these things. First of all, moving on to hygiene. So what we mean by hygiene is all the processes or all the practices that an individual carry out to remain disease free or remain healthy. These are considered as hygiene. However, the word hygiene is derived from a word hygia, which is a great Greek goddess of health. and wellness. So that the term hygiene is derived from hygia. And what are the ways? Now, how do we do this? So moving on to personal hygiene. Personal hygiene, we have already discussed constitutes all the practices that one maintains for for being healthy. How after what our body is, that our body have several parts like hair, skin, nails, palm, feet, nose, tongue, mouth, eardrum, ear canal, etc. They all harbor some microbes, and some of them microbes are pathogenic. However, most of them are symbiotic. They help ourselves also. We help basically, but some microbes are very pathogenic. They may cause some serious disease like endocarditis and colitis and what you say boils, etc. So what we have to do, what we do in hygienic practices, we avoid growth of such microbes by following some measures, which we will come up in next slide. So the upcoming slide, which I'm going to show you, it is taken from Wikipedia, and it shows the various body parts which harbors microbes. And again, next we will discuss the body parts which harbor some pathogenic microbes, the pathogens. So next slide, it clearly indicates the various body parts and the various body parts containing several microbes. You can see Corynebacterium, Propionibacterium, and other Cyanobacterium, etc. However, most of the bacteria are symbiotic and they do not harm ourselves, but few of them are very, very harmful and may cause a very serious disease such as endocarditis. So moving on to next. Okay, then role of various body part in carrying the pathogen. Pathogen को carry करने वाले हमारे कौन-कौन से body part है? First of all them is palm. जो हमारा palm है, it contains many pathogens. Or in the recent COVID pandemic situation, very effectively, Indian government has launched a campaign for sanitization of our palm, regular sanitization. However, there was a mistake that what we were doing, every 20 to 30 seconds, we were taking sanitizer and rubbing on our hand. What it does, it did wipe out some useful microbes also that checks the growth of some pathogens. So it is advised not to sanitize your hand very frequently with alcohol sanitizer. If you want to sanitize your hand very frequently, go and hand wash it. No need to use alcohol sanitizer even now and then. So the palm germs are spread through hands and through coughing, sneezing, or through rubbing eyes. एक दूसरे के हाथ में, let's suppose I am diseased, let's suppose I am having influenza or any sort of viral disease, and I cough. I covered my face and the whole pathogen came on my palm, and then it get transferred to someone to whom I handshake, or I rub my eyes, or I handshake with someone who was infected with some sort of flu or kind of viral disease, and he passed onto my hand, and then I rubbed my disease, or I touched my nose, so it went inside my respiratory system, and I was too infected, got infected. So easily, the through palm germs can spread by coughing and sneezing, through rubbing eyes. Also, germs can be present on feather, skin of animals, and other surfaces that can be transferred by palm. Suppose a child is playing with a dog, and it touches the skin or fur of that animal. The pathogens that are being thriving on the skin or the hair of that pet get transferred on the palm of that very boy, and then when it touches his face or nose or eye, it get into its body, and that boy gets infected. So we must take care. Also, germs can be present on fomites. Fomites are those objects onto which germs can easily attach. Soils and fecuses that can easily get transferred through palm. And the common pathogen which are getting transferred and making us sick through palm is, first one is Proteus mirabilis. Proteus mirabilis is basically a pathogen. It is a kind of bacteria that may cause cystitis and pyelonephritis, that is swelling of kidney and related diseases. Then Staphylococcus aureus cause boils, furnicles, and cellulitis. Also Enterococci, it causes severe diarrhea and infection and inflammation and pain or swelling of colitis, that is colon, large intestine. And Acetonobacterium causes pneumonia and meningitis. Meningitis and pneumonia is a very common disease, and meningitis you can also address it Because pneumonia is a disease related to lungs, and meningitis is a disease related to swelling and infection of meninges that covers your brain and spinal cord. Coronavirus, that causes COVID-19, and tinea manim that causes ringworm, दाद or deny local language में जो हम लोग बोलते हैं. Next, through mouth. Mouth basically is a very crucial part of our body. Basically, it is very well hydrated all the time due to presence of saliva. First condition for thriving or to creating a live condition for a microbe is moisture, and then everything we put into our alimentary canal is through mouth. So it is also rich in nutrition, as well as the temperature is very good. Nutritional hydration is very good. So it gives a very good and appropriate environment for the survival of pathogen. And therefore, we can say mouth is a good hydrated environment with lots of available nutrients and very habitable temperature. A bad oral hygiene, if a person has a bad oral hygiene, it can be indicated by a bad breath and a plaques and tooth decay. And due to the presence of these nutrients or trapped food between the teeth, and when it is not brushed properly, these available nutrients are being utilized by these microbes, and they thrive on these nutrients. As the environment is very much hydrated, also the temperature is very much habitable. So the pathogens that are commonly found in our buccal cavity, or you can say oral cavity, are streptococcus. And streptococcus basically is a very, you can say, major, it plays a major role in endocarditis. Endocarditis is basically infection of what you say heart and its valve. Then open heart surgery is done and valve has to be replaced. Pharyngitis and pneumonia is also caused by streptococcus. And granulacella causes endocarditis. Glamella causes endocarditis. Valionella causes endocarditis. You can see most of the pathogen causes endocarditis, which is a very serious disease. And then osteomyelitis also. Periodontal diseases related to gums and all, fusobacterium. So these are the pathogens which easily thrive in our mouth and can make us sick. So what need to be done? We will discuss what need to be done in upcoming slides, but as a generalization concept, we know what need to be done twice a time and all. We will discuss it later. Then hair is also a various, it also harbors very dangerous pathogens. Hair is also a carrier of various pathogens. The pathogen can be on scalp. Hair has two parts, or we can say the whole head has two parts. One is our scalp, that's skin, and another is shaft. Shaft, that is the hair bristles, what we see. So that pathogen can be on scalp as well as can present on shaft also. So only two of them are, that is Staphylococcus aureus causes abscesses, boils of furnicles or cellulitis, and Staphylococcus epidermis, which causes sinus infection, endocarditis, and other inflammations. So these are the pathogens that will thrive on your hair. You won't even notice, and you will get sick even now and then if your hair hygiene is not well. Moving on to next, the most taboo part, the menstrual hygiene management, that we often dare not to discuss. However, most of the rural areas, you can say almost 80% of the rural areas, women do not practice very good menstrual hygiene. They use normal cotton clothes, which may cause infection to their vaginal orifice and reproductive tract. So and we know that they also are contributor to our Indian economy, and as we know that sex ratio has been increasing day by day, and if a large workforce is getting sick due to this malpracticing of menstrual hygienic management, so our country's economic may go down. So we need to take them up into the country's economic mainstream, and for that we need to maintain a proper menstrual hygiene and management. So it is very essential for women and also adolescent girl between menopause and menarche to maintain a very good menstrual hygiene. What are the risks of this bad menstrual hygiene? So basically the risk is that it may lead to very serious disease that may concern their reproductive organ, even sterility, and uterine tract infection, or urinary tract infection, and uterine cavity infection also, and it may also cause sterility. However, the WHO's statement, as per WHO statement, WHS has addressed sexually transmitted disease, a very serious and a threat to the human race. So we need to take proper care of menstrual hygiene management. What happens when we do not follow a proper menstrual hygiene? Pathogen basically thrives due to poor hygiene. Various bacteria that thrives in reproductive tract or female reproductive tract as a result of altered pH. And these bacteria may cause bacterial vaginosis, a very rich and very you can say dormant kind of growth of bacteria. Then human papilloma virus is another kind of virus that may cause sexually transmitted disease, and it causes genital wart, we know. Okay, now moving on to next slide. What must be done to ensure proper hygienic condition? We all do this. First one is proper grooming. Proper grooming, maintenance of a short hair in case of males, and if in case of female, if they cannot maintain short hair, so they need to maintain a well cleaned and basically hygienic hair. We also need to maintain a trimmed nail and a clean handkerchief to wash our face even now and then. Regular bathing and defecation in a specified place. So skin-friendly soap has to be used. We must mention it, because if we do not use skin-friendly soap, what happens? It causes damage to our cells also. Even it also kills the pathogenic bacteria, as well as most of the bacteria those are killed are symbiotic bacteria that checks the growth of microbes or pathogenic bacteria on our skin. So a proper pH balanced soap and with a good composition has to be used during bathing, and defecation must be in a proper place, not an open area. Also, hand washing habit, as we have also discussed, and we are pretty much aware about this topic, that regular hand washing must be done and sanitization must be done before having meal or after having meal. It is a very must. However, keeping this in mind, that regular sanitation with alcohol-based sanitizer must be discouraged, as it kills useful microbes also. However, if you are sanitizing your hand with alcohol sanitizer after 2 to 3 hours, it's okay, or as needed, but frequent use of alcohol sanitizer is not advised. Moving on to next, then oral hygiene. We know we have to brush regularly, twice a day, with a balanced pH balanced and fluoride free toothpaste, and cleaning of tongue must be done daily. And then at last, menstrual hygiene, the special care and hydration and nutrition must be taken during menstrual hygiene, because during menstrual hygiene blood is lost, dehydration occurs, and nutrition depletion also occurs. So at that time, the female has to take care of themselves, of hydration and nutrition. Also, sanitary pads, menstrual caps, tampons, etc. can be used and disposed properly, or extra hygienic care must be taken near vaginal and anal orifice, so that no such harmful pathogen grows near it and make them sick. Such as human papilloma virus is a very common pathogen that grows in such areas. So we have to check the growth of those pathogens. So these are pictorial representation of ways to maintaining a proper hygiene. We can see in a first slide a grooming situation and hand washing. Picture showing or spreading awareness about hand wash, and a picture showing awareness about menstrual hygiene. So moving on to next, how we can implement it on school level. So what we can do is we can provide weightage in assessment. You check for handkerchief, you check for trimmed nails, you check for trimmed hair, and then you give some weightage or maybe grade, so that student can get motivated, and this will motivate others to also follow a proper hygiene. Indirect communication we have to make to parents through punishment and reward system. This is not a physical punishment. Consider a situation that candidates come to school and his nail is not trimmed properly. So what we can do is we can ask them to gift a nail cutter to his best friend, as he or she has not trimmed his or her nail properly. So what he will do, that student will do, that student will go to their parents and will ask for 10 or 20 rupees for purchasing a nail cutter. Then that parent will consult you, and what is the problem they will ask. Then you may complain them clearly that this is just a deterrence for maintaining a poor hygiene, so that the parent will get aware and they will take care of the hygiene of their ward. Also, we can formulate games or activity focusing on maintenance of hygiene. We can create a drama, we can create a play, we can create several games at school level that may spread awareness about hygiene. And then celebrating World Hygiene Day, that is on 5th of May, and we must celebrate that. Will also create awareness about maintenance of hygiene. Second factor that affects the health of an individual is nutrition. It plays a very important role. And what is nutrition? Basically, nutrition is a process during which we acquire various nutrients such as carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamins, minerals, etc. However, the content of those nutrients may vary. Let's suppose a person is adult, or a person is at 35 years age, and the individual is at 16-year age, adolescence. So the adolescents requires much more protein content in their diet in compared to those normal person 35 or 40 years old. So the content of those nutrients differs or varies from age group. So we will look next. And what is importance of nutrition? Basically, nutrition, what it does, it provides you instant energy for doing all the works. Also, growth of your body and development of immunity. These three things they do. First of all, what energy you want to do, you want to utilize, or you want to invest in your daily work. Those energy is coming from your nutrition, and the growth of your body and the development of immunity of our body is due to this nutrition. So, what is a balanced diet? Nutrition, every one of us, we acquire something for the sake of nutrition. But what is a proper nutrition? What we must take? We must take a balanced diet. Now, what is this a balanced diet? Balanced diet is basically constituting of certain kinds of nutrients in an adequate proportion, so that your nutrient quantity and calories requirement are met. So for every kind of person, a fixed amount of protein, fixed amount of carbohydrate, vitamin and mineral is required. So in that case, we take nutrient, we acquire nutrient, and if the demand of your body is met, that diet is called balanced diet. And we must take balanced diet. However, in nowadays, due to some our lifestyle and fashionable food items, balanced diet requirement is not met some of our adolescents, which must be checked at school level. So these are the chart which represents what is the energy requirement, protein requirement, calcium and iron requirement for female and males of different age group. Also, diet plan must be planned accordingly. So two pictorial representation, tabular representation for that. Moving on to next, what are the major role and source of major nutrients? And those are protein, carbohydrate, fat, vitamins and minerals. From where do we get it? Protein, we get it from meat, fish, poultry, eggs, legumes. Or let's suppose a person is a vegetarian, so he might not complain, how will I get protein? So he can eat soybean or legumes, nuts. And what it does, it is useful in formation of muscle, bone, blood, several enzymes, hormones, and any substance in our body that is made up of protein is basically requires protein our diet. And carbohydrate, we can get carbohydrate from grains, fruit and vegetables. It basically what it does, it supplies energy to the whole cell of our body. The next, fat basically what we get fat from vegetable oils and animal oils. So what it does two or three things. First, it is a reservoir of energy. If the normal energy raw material is depleted in our body, fat is there to give energy. Then it also forms a layer beneath your skin and plays a role of insulation, and also helps in absorption of several vitamins. Then vitamins can be acquired through fruits, vegetable, grains, meat, and dairy. And what they do, as we know that vitamins are basically essential components for enzymes. And what enzymes do is they perform every chemical reaction in our body, or you can say metabolism, play important role in metabolism. So if vitamins is depleted in our body, the enzyme functioning is impaired and the whole metabolism will get altered. So a vitamin is very much required in a very trace amount, however, but it is very essential to maintain a good quantity of vitamins in our diet. Minerals also, basically you found it in several vegetables and dairy products also. It regulates body functions and also assist catalysis for free energy, or you can say assist the activity of enzymes. And water, as we know, it provides a very much known and very much essential medium for all the chemical reaction to occur. Every chemical reaction that in our body occurs cannot be done with the help of water. It provides a very much pretty essential medium for the enzymatic reactions. So these are the roles and sources of major nutrients, and their requirement we have already discussed in last slide. This one slide. We have already discussed what are the amounts that is needed by an individual of a particular group, age group, and here are the sources and role of major nutrients. And then moving on to next, what happens if an individual does not get proper nutrient in our diet? If we do not get proper nutrient in our diet, what will happen? Some disease will occur in our body, and those diseases will be deficiency disease. And some of the deficiency disease are listed in table before you. This is vitamin A. We know that is night blindness, loss of vision, because the rod and cone cell cannot develop properly. Vitamin B1, very and brittle, weak muscle and little energy to work. Vitamin C, scurvy. You will have a bleeding gums. Vitamin D, there is a poor development of bone, rickets, and bones are bent. Calcium, your weak bone and weak teeth, so that you can easily, you can say that bone will be very brittle if you have low calcium in your diet. Then iodine, as we know, lack of iodine causes goiter, and iron, lack of iron causes anemia, and that is low count of hemoglobin in our blood. So a deficiency disease can be defined as a disease that is caused by lack of essential nutrients or dietary elements such as vitamins and mineral in our body. However, a well-balanced diet is critical to a person's overall health, because we know that our whole immune system and whole the body functioning depends on the nutrition what we are supplying. If we are supplying under adequate amount of nutrition, the whole immune system will be malfunctioning, also our development will be not proper. So how to implement all these things? Basically nutritional checks at school level. What we can do, we have to regularly assess and check the BMI and weight of the candidate, so that any anomalies in BMI can be identified and easily be addressed well in time. Also, lunchbox checking must be done. Surprise checking basically must be done for junk food and improper diet. Some of the parents, what they do, they prepare Maggie and send what, okay, go take. The child also like Maggie, so they take Maggie in their lunch box and they share also with friends. So it is not good, because we know that Maggie is not a proper food. However, if it is made from atta, there are some products which are, there are some companies which are launching Maggie of atta. So that may be considered. However, that alone Maggie is also not a balanced diet. Some fruit may be there, some carbohydrate source, roti, paratha, salad, sabji, that is okay. But so it is need of our that we must check the lunch, and surprise checking must be done. If it is in a pattern, parents are very smart. So appreciation must be done to students who always bring a proper lunch, and we must give example of those students, or also we have to deter those students who do not bring proper diet to their in their lunch. We must organize food festival twice a year, and we can spread awareness of nutrition through various painting, drawings, drama, and other medias, so that the students, as well as the parents that are visiting the school, may get aware about the nutrition and their requirement and what is the role of proper balanced diet. Thank you and have a great day.